Dr. Dawes may have just concretized the length of time that you may spend in opposition. Dr. Dawes has almost destroyed what is left of the PNP. Dr. Alfred Dawes may have cost the PNP the next election, which they were already losing. But Dr. Dawes' position, Dr. Dawes' question in Parliament is a reflection of a party deeply in need of leadership. Mr. Crawford, I know you listen to this program. Sir, something needs to be done about the PNP. And I'm saying this with all sincerity. Something needs to be done.
Somebody send a lifeboat for the PNP now. Or maybe a lifebuoy or even a noodle, but send something because they need help. And this was on full display in the sitting of the Parliament that I'm going.
That's right. The PNP needs help. They need help. And I'm going to try my best to help them tonight. Try my best to help them as a patriotic Jamaican. I want to help them. First of all, I think you should let some of these guys blog for you. You need to start there. It's really embarrassing. They need help. Well, we're gonna try and help you. Time is gone, but we got a little time still. Okay, let me see if I can put up. I never know that it was so bad. Let's listen to Dr. Dawes.
The restoration would be done by what, the end of February, January, as opposed to April, May, June. Now, what is the opportunity cost? What is the opportunity cost?
You see that word? You see that word? It's the worst political mistake since September 3rd. Bad. It's a bad word. Boy, Mr. Dawes, you're a medical doctor. But let me ask a question. Doesn't the PNP caucus, don't they discuss questions? How to ask questions? How to frame questions? What words to use? How do you go to Parliament when the government is managing a disaster and use the word opportunity cost as it relates to people getting back electricity? That statement by Dr. Dawes, if it reflects the position of the PNP, then they don't stand a chance going forward. Let me point it out to you. in economic discussions, or the economic discussion that was taking place, the value of restoring electricity goes beyond the monetary cost. Comrades, come to the front of the class. Listen. Please, Dr. Dawes, listen. The value of restoring electricity goes beyond the monetary cost. When you restore electricity, you restore dignity. You restore hope. And you return normalcy to thousands of Jamaicans. It's not about the cost, Dr. Dawes. If you apply psychology to that, a psychological perspective, the prolonged absence of electricity can have mental health issues. Opportunity cost, Dr. Dawes? It can have effects on your mental health. Consider the feelings of frustration, the anxiety, the despair. These can be overwhelming, especially to those people who are already vulnerable, such as the elderly. Can you imagine old Miss Elseda? She have to put her little medication in the cooler. And she can't get the medication in the cooler because she don't have no light. Imagine the babies. They might get heat rash. Imagine the lactating mothers that have to be nursing their babies in the heat. Imagine that you want little beverage to drink, little sugar and water, and not even little ice for 6 months. In the candle, you have to use candle and lamp and torch and catch peony wally out the door, put them in a bucket. It's a reversal of the dignity of people. It's not opportunity cost, Dr. Dawes. Imagine young children with Christmas coming and no pepper light, no street light. Imagine how vulnerable communities are to rapists. Imagine Miss Blossom with her little bar. And she have to lock it down early. She can't sell 2 cold beer. She don't have no light. Imagine the church. Them don't have no light to play no music. The keyboard have to lock off. The pastor don't have no microphone. He can't preach loud. Imagine those with medical conditions. And then the daily routines of individuals. social connections. They can't charge their phone. They can't listen to no TikTok. They can't watch no TV. They can't listen to no radio. And then you have economic stability or instability, leading to feelings of powerlessness, helplessness. Electricity is a fundamental necessity, Dr. Dawes. Oh, God. So why do you mention opportunity costs? I'm not done yet. Stay tuned. More comrades need to come here. Because you don't need help, man. Comrades need help. Come to the front of the class, comrades. Listen. Imagine the chicken farm. A little lady will raise her chicken down at Westmoreland. And she can't raise no more chicken. She can't plug in her little fridge. Her business locked down, Dr. Dawes. Mentioning opportunity cost is callous. It's callous, sir. Because what you are doing, my goodly doctor, is you are prioritizing economic calculations over human needs. You don't do that. You cannot prioritize economic calculations over economic needs. Your argument is very unempathetic. As a matter of fact, it is a loan, which means that it is an investment that the government is making. Restoring power to the people benefits the people, not only that they get back the light, but the government earns 5.5% on the money they are loaning. Because economic decisions are not solely based on financial matrix or metrics. They have profound social and psychological implications. In this case, the government's decision to provide the loan is a demonstration of its commitment to the well-being of its citizens. And the opposition's criticism seems like a tone-deaf response. It is called the tyranny of abstract. The tyranny of abstract. Abstract concepts, which are economic principles, opportunity cost, are prioritized over human emotions. It is the tyranny of abstract. You see, when it comes down to dealing with people, sometimes you have to put on the economic book. Yep. You see, humans are wired to respond to stories and emotions, not just abstract concepts. By focusing on the opportunity cost, the opposition is speaking to the head but they are neglecting the heart. And when you speak to people's head and you neglect their heart, the perception is that you are out of touch with the very people you represent. It is amazing that Dr. Dayton Campbell could be in Parliament not supporting his people getting back light. This approach can be seen as a manifestation of the availability heuristic bias, where the opposition is prioritizing the available data, the loan amount, over the less tangible, the human cost of the electricity outage. But the focus ought to be on the people. In times of crisis, people, Dr. Dawes. And when a crisis strikes, the people turn to their leaders for emotional support. The people care less about no opportunity cost. They don't give a thing about that. What they are interested in is light. No matter if it costs 150, 250, 350, 450. They want back their light. Because giving them back their light gives them back their life. It is life, Dr. Dawes. Light and life. And there is no price to be placed on life. No price. You can't place a price on people's lives, sir. Effective leadership requires a balance between rational analysis, which you are attempting to do, and emotional intelligence. For while you scored on the rational intelligence, you failed the emotional intelligence test, which makes you a poor politician. Very, very poor politician. Emotional intelligence is to supersede rational intelligence in times of crisis. If you are a father and you wanted to buy rims for your car and the light cut off at your yard, you postpone the rims and put on back the light. Wouldn't you do that as a daddy? If you were planning to change your car and your child became ill, would you pursue the car or would you defer the money to take care of your child's illness? That's emotional intelligence. When it comes on to people, don't introduce rational intelligence. There is no price to be placed on the light. There is no price to be placed on the light. For to restore the light is to restore the people's life. One of the first things that God did is he said, let there be light. Because darkness equals chaos. Where there is darkness, there is no life. Darkness is a death. The people are dying. Doctor, the people are dying. For God's sake, let them have light. The people of Westmoreland are dying. Miss Maisie, she are dead. That mother with her baby on her breast tonight, she's dying, sir. She needs light so that she can get back her life. Now, the lack of emotional intelligence speaks to the credibility of the members of the opposition with the people that they are seeking to represent. Because it appears as if the opposition is out of touch with the people. And that is very disappointing. Now, can the opposition redeem themselves? Because at this point, they are dead. In quotation, dead. Because when you lose touch with the very people, listen to this that the minister put out today. Minister Vaz. Listen.
Would be done by the end of February, January, as opposed to April, May, June. Now, what is the opportunity cost? What is the opportunity cost?
What is the opportunity cost
of bringing restoration of electricity away forward by three to 4 months, $24 billion to move restoration forward 3 to 4 months.
What is the opportunity cost?
The government has done the right thing based on extreme circumstances that the country and the people face at this time, especially with Christmas and New Year's. And as I said a few months ago, I was going to give the people of Jamaica bus after bus after bus. I'm going to give them light after light after light. God bless Jamaica, and we look forward to continuing the work for you, the people.
I'm going to point something out to you. There are many people in Jamaica with degrees, that if they go downtown, the handcart man turn them in an idiot. Degrees don't make you smart, you know. The difference between Dawes and Vaz is that Vaz is emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent. You hear how he made it? Bus after bus after bus after bus. Light after light after light after light. People are connected to stories, not highfalutin economic terms. I'm going to go on a little more, you know, because I think you need to say, because I'm going to show you the contrast between the rural bus service and this matter. Pragmatic utilitarianism. That's what the PNP is arguing there in Parliament for. And the people of Westmoreland cares nothing about pragmatic utilitarianism. As a matter of fact, many of you just wonder what is it that Neighbour is there talking about. Pragmatic utilitarianism is where you prioritize economic calculations over human needs. One of the things about God, you see, God, he never does that. You don't do that with your children. Don't do it. Human needs come first. That's why Jesus wept when he went to the grave of Lazarus. He wept. Why? Emotionally intelligent. Connection. And he was going to raise Lazarus, but he connected with them emotionally. What Vaz is a brilliant politician, and the people love him. It's the same thing with Mr. Warmington, you know. It's the same thing with Mr. Warmington. I heard him in Parliament yesterday boasting that he got over 10,000 votes. Do not calculate there is no price that you should spare to care for those you love. No price. If you're going to put up, imagine your wife sick. Would you count the cost to save her life, brother? Would you do it? If your wife is sick and it costs you, you wouldn't sell your car. You wouldn't sell your car if you treat your wife. You wouldn't do it. Huh? Would you give up your child because to save your car? What would you do? Would you calculate the cost? Or would you do what you have to do regardless of the price? The government needs better communicators. You see, when actions are right, Dr. Dawes, when actions are right, promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. That's how governments must operate. The greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. $25 billion is nothing for a country to give back thousands of its citizens life. There is not one person watching me tonight that is not valued more than $25 billion. Not one of you. Every one of you watching me tonight, you are more valuable than $25 billion. For there is no price on your life. None. You are invaluable. And if the opposition cannot see that and go to Parliament speaking about opportunity cost, then the opposition they have failed the people. They have absolute, and I am amazed that Dr. Dawes has not been called out on this even more. It is the Labour Party should call a press conference tomorrow and point this out. This is it's an alarming thing. It's an amazing time in our history to be witnessing this. Me personally, to be witnessing this, I don't know what to say about it. It is fundamentally wrong. Actions are right when they promote the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. If you focus on the opportunity cost, you are going to give the perception, Dr. Dawes, that the value, the inherent value of human well-being, dignity, and suffering doesn't matter. And if I may say so myself, the people are suffering. Some of them have lost their dignity. Wrapped up in all of this is that these people are going backwards. Good God Almighty, man. This is the 21st century. Yes, we have had a disaster. But imagine walking in these communities tonight. Not even a bulb. Not a bulb in the community. And the Parliament is arguing about whether light should return. Wake up, Jamaica. This is not representation. This is obfuscation. It's a tragedy. It is a tragedy. It is a tragedy that we are arguing about giving back people light. It is a tragedy. It is a tragedy that there is a debate. Ask your questions, of course, but not the opportunity cost. The only opportunity cost is an opportunity to get the people light. You know, in ethics, you see, in ethics must prioritize the individual experience and dignity over abstract calculations. Preserve dignity. Mrs. Simpson Miller used to talk about balancing the book while balancing people's lives. Very important, you know. Balancing the books while balancing people's lives. Ethics. You prioritize the dignity of individuals over abstract calculations. And to think, listeners, that these are their own supporters. Westmoreland is one of the strongest parish for the PNP. It is Westmoreland that I get back the light, you know. Westmoreland. It is one of the most vulnerable segment of the society. Is it because they are poor why this statement is being made? Rhetorical. Is it because the people in Westmoreland are poor? Because I am going to say it. Cherry Gardens have light. Jacks Hill have light. Mona have light. Portmore have light. And Old Harbour. And would we have been talking about opportunity cost to put back light in New Kingston? Would there be a debate in Parliament if Jacks Hill never have light and Mona and Upper Kingston and St. Andrew? Would there be a debate? Would there be a debate about the opportunity cost? Norbook, if it was Norbook. Would there be a debate about opportunity cost? No. But have you considered?
Restoration would be done by what, the end of February, January, as opposed to April, May, June. Now, what is the opportunity cost? What is the opportunity cost?
What is the opportunity cost
Of bringing restoration
Do you want me to explain opportunity cost, or you get it? You know it? I come to it.
of electricity of a wait forward by three to 4 months, $24 billion to move restoration forward 3 to 4 months.
What is the opportunity cost?
The government has done the right thing based on extreme circumstances that the country and the people face at this time, especially with Christmas and New Year's. And as I said a few months ago, I was going to give the people of Jamaica bus after bus after bus. I'm going to give them light after light after light. God bless Jamaica, and we look forward to continuing the work for you, the people.
There you have it. Emotional intelligence over abstract reasoning. Emotional intelligence over abstract reasoning. Rhetorical. Mona, Jacks Hill, New Kingston. Would there be a debate about opportunity cost if those people did not have light. Let me tell you something. Everyone are we equal. All are we equal. Some may have a little bit more than all, but we're going to the same place when we did. And there is much inequality in this society. Much. And some of you run up your mouth and talk, but you don't speak the truth. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And with God, there is no respecter of persons. Westmoreland deserve light, as does Mona. Light after light after light. Let there be. Listen to me. Listen to me. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable or unalienable rights. Rights. They have a right to light. Put back the light the people in place, man, and put it back before Christmas. If it costs us 500 million, put it back. Cut the salaries of the MP and put back the light. Take a cut. Take a cut in your salary and give the people the light. Give them light, man. Give the people light. And stop the foolishness. Do not answer any more questions in the parliament about the light, Mr. Vaz. Don't answer any more questions. Drop it off the order paper. No more. If I was the minister, I'm not answering no question about no getting back no light. No more question and answer upon it. More than I give the people them the JPS the money and say, give the people them light. Give them light. Questions after that. You know what Mr. Patterson said at one of the things, say, let the paperwork catch up with it. Anyway. Vulnerable people in Westmoreland. Vulnerable segment of the society. Your party is neglecting you. Your party is not representing your needs. And someone is asking the question, is the PNP representing the people? Or are they representing the JPS? Wow. Asking for a friend. Why is this of moment? Is it the vulnerable people of Westmoreland? It's a lack of empathy. And I suspect that the PNP's base may feel that the party is more concerned with the ideological purity than addressing their everyday struggles. Anti-Punsi want to raise our chicken, give her back the light. Fatty that have the bar want to chill too cold beer, give her back our light. Uncle Jonas coming in from work, love to drink him cold beer. Him want back in light. People need to go to them bed at night time and wrap up under their sheet and make love. They want them fun. Give them back them light. The picnic them tired of the hot sugar and water and they want one bag juice frozen. Give them back them light. You know, justice is what love looks like in public. Justice is what love looks like in public. And the PNP's approach may seem is lacking in love. Justice is what love looks like in public. You see all of this highfalutin thing that takes place in the parliament? It means nothing to the people. I looked at PBCJ today. Less than 1,000 people was watching the press conference. Is Senator who is up here? Somebody here? I'm not seeing any requests for anyone. Moderator, who is it that wants to join? Morgan? Is he here? I don't see any requests. Who is helping me tonight?
I'm here, neighbor.
Just sorry, I'm not so sure who is. I hear that one Senator Morgan wants to join. Can you check that out for me, please? Hello, Harry. Justice.
Hi, everybody.
Justice is what love looks like in public. And the PNP's approach is lacking in love, compassion, and empathy, which are essential qualities in building trust and support. Will the people of Westmoreland learn from this? Because I can tell you this, if where I live did not have light tonight, you couldn't come tell me about opportunity costs. I don't care about that. Justice is what love looks like in public. It's not chat. It is action. And when we prioritize economic calculations over human needs, we risk, and that is why, you know, people, that the politics in Jamaica is not doing better. People are disconnected. People are disconnected. And that's why when elections come around, you have to buy the vote. You have to buy it. Because you have isolated the people. You have isolated them. And so you have to win them back through transactional means. Now, in the last election, the government rolled out a school bus system. And the opportunity cost question, which opportunity cost, I hope I don't have to explain that to you. There are some similarities. It's kind of tone deaf, because in both instances, the ideology was prioritized over the people's need. Now, you can ask questions about a rural school bus service. Absolutely. Questions of safety, questions of procurement guidelines, questions of cost. Yes, you can ask those questions. But you cannot come across as it's a bad public policy. Not on the social scale. No, you can't do that. A rural school bus system have to be something that is good for the country. That is not something that you want to criticize. What you criticize is, are the buses safe? Okay, yes. Did the government act prudently in acquiring them? Yes. Are the drivers trained? Yes. Is it going to cost the students how much? All of those are questions that you expect your opposition to raise. You do not expect the opposition to say, no to something like that. That is not right. And the polls show it. And let me tell you something about public policy, you see? Anyway, I don't want this to be too long. There are some similarities. The questions about opportunity cost comes across as being more concerned with the economic theory than with the human impact and the suffering that being without electricity is causing. Now, is opportunity cost relevant? Yes, it is relevant. We do it every day. We do it every day. I wish some of our men would count the opportunity cost before you go to back road. There's a cost to that, an opportunity cost. But when you apply the rigid ideological framework that neglect the complexities and the nuances of the situation, it comes across as you trying to score political points rather than working collaboratively to find solutions that benefit the people. And this approach can very much alienate voters. Right? Because voters are pragmatic. They are pragmatic. And they understand empathy over ideology. Some of them don't know what ideology means, but they all can feel empathy. And there is a difference between sympathy and empathy. When someone dies, your friend died, and you send a postcard sending their condolences, that's sympathy. You sympathize with them. When you show up, that's empathy. That's the difference. Sympathy is words of comfort. Empathy is when you show up. And we need to show up for our people at this time of suffering. We need to show up for them, not only to send them a package, but show up. Show up for the people of Westmoreland, man. Show up for the people of St. Elizabeth. Where I am from in Manchester, 5 weeks and them not get back light yet. 5 weeks. And I'll know them can. In Manchester, there are parts of Manchester that don't get back light. And the minister said that not this weekend, next weekend, the barge will arrive in Jamaica. That's 2 more weeks before the linemen start work, you know. So these people will not have light, some of them. In Christmas, feel like I want to bawl for my people. pragmatic or ideology. You know, focus on unity, governance, showing the willingness to listen and adapt. To build, credit. I have flagged that a little bit long. I want to go to the Bank of Jamaica that is mopping up liquidity. BOJ is mopping up liquidity, and Mr. Alston Hyman is suggests that the poor will have a bleak Christmas, pulling in money from the economy. So my understanding is that the Bank of Jamaica is to take in 50 billion. And I'm going to show to you why Mr. Ralston Hyman. I tell you, I don't seek to challenge Mr. Hyman on matters of the economy, but I can't see how the Bank of Jamaica trying to tame inflation hurts the poor. That's absurd, because inflation is a tax on the poor, because rich people don't pay tax, they just pass it on in their goods and services. They don't pay it. It's calculated in what you pay. So when prices go up, it is the poor that is affected. So the Bank of Jamaica is intervening in the economy to pull out some of the money, lots of money in the economy, and the BOJ is trying to take up some of it. It's called a mop up. Mr. Hyman is saying that it's going to hurt Christmas for the poor. I have Harry with me. It would be nice to discuss that with him. Mr. Harry?
What's up, neighbor?
What is this about Mr. Morgan that I wanted to join? Is that so?
I think Keisha did advise in the chat that he will join tomorrow. Not sure what's the time. We'll try and reach out though.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me play. It's 902. Listen. We had why am I not getting? Okay. Okay, let me see if I can no, this is crazy. I'm sure that I had this loaded earlier, but I probably don't. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, here is it. Are you listening, sir?
I'm listening, neighbor.
Breaking news from Ralston Hyman. Listen to this.
Market today. How is steel? How the dollar is steel? What is the central bank doing?
The dollar dropped to $161.14 today, from $161.02 yesterday. The Bank of Jamaica will be carrying out its largest market exercise tomorrow. $50 billion will be taken out of circulation tomorrow.
$50 billion.
$50 billion. That's
also, of course, okay. So Harry, why is the Bank of Jamaica taking 50 billion out of the economy?
Neighbor, you said it earlier, it's really to contain the level of inflation, right? They want to ensure that it still falls within an ideal range. I think this is normally between about 4 to 6%, which is something very normal in any functional economy. So anything outside of that starts to become a little bit alarming, that you want to ensure it doesn't spiral out of control. Because what that means is, with more liquidity and more cash available in the economy, it's just a thing of supply and demand. So now you'll have more money running down far fewer goods.
Okay.
Right?
So
and as such, prices will drive up.
Economy have a lot of money in it now. And therefore banks
Right.
have lots of money to lend and people have more money to spend.
Right.
So
And demand.
For example, banks will begin to induce people to take out loans or credit cards. They'll increase people's credit limits on their credit cards and give them more money to spend.
Right.
Right. So where is all this money coming from, Harry? Why is the economy so pumped up with money?
Neighbour, it would have been based on the returns we've seen over the last fiscal year, where persons would have positioned themselves to be better. Of course, we know as well this is a festive season where people demand a lot more cash than they normally would. Similar to, like, back to school, and a lot of cash is out there to spend to demand goods, because they need these goods and services, neighbor. And we're it's a thing where, coming to festivities, we cook big meals, we buy additional things, we buy gifts for family, and we travel a lot. We spend more money on food, because there are three things that heads the list when it comes down to pushing up on inflation. Traveling, right, which is for transportation, food, because we consume a lot more, or we eat out a lot more, and then of course entertainment, right? These three are key. Now, when we have more cash or more liquid in terms of money, we tend to demand these goods and services a lot more. So if you now reduce the availability of this cash, then we will now adjust our lives to not wanting to demand these goods that are out there. And as such, there's less money competing to push up any price for goods. Because if you go to the market,
explain to the listeners, how does the Bank of Jamaica go about mopping up the liquidity?
So there's quite a few ways, right? One of the key ones, though, is where they offer, like, we call the CDs, certificate of deposits, where the central bank offers the investment opportunity. So we'll see, like, the BOJ offering a CD of, let's say, $20 billion at 8%, which is very attractive. Yes. So what people will do now, right, they'll put the money in there for like a 30-day or longer, depending on the notes, right? That's the instrument. And as such, that money will be out of circulation until it reaches the maturity. That helps the economy. Because if you had that additional 20 billion out there, neighbor, God knows what service and goods it will demand and push the price up when it comes down to inflation as well.
Correct. Okay.
So that's one of the things.
Okay. So the Bank of Jamaica's action suggests that they are trying to prevent an overheating of the economy where too much money is chasing too few goods and services, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, why is this according to... Let us listen a little bit more to Mr. Hyman.
1.4% of GDP.
As the Bank of Jamaica give us a projection of what they plan to take out for the this is going to be the last one for the year.
No, man.
You think they're going out?
Yeah, man. No, man.
But is it a regular thing to be mopping up liquidity Christmas?
No. What you'll see now would be an expansion of the money supply. But because of the disaster caused by Melissa, what they're doing as a governor in all of those acts are telling you, that his main responsibility is to contain inflation, so to take the money out of the system. Rather than thumping that you see normally would be about the expansion of the money supply in the Christmas season. No. Yes. This is a different situation. What you are hearing is about taking out money supply out of the system.
So what will that do to Christmas?
You mean the Grinch? The central bank is acting as the Grinch. There will be no Christmas.
There'll be no Christmas, Harry?
Well, it is us not having our usual Christmas, neighbor, is not down to the BOJ looking to mop up any liquidity.
But
It's
Ralston
down to
Hyman is
that
a
we're going
top
through.
financial analyst. Mr. Hyman said we will not have Christmas this year because of this. Why?
Neighbor, this is one of the thing that I'll call him out on being disingenuous, right? Because we're coming out of a catastrophe. We're still within it at that, right? That is what has shaken up not just the economy, but our day-to-day lives. Money that we probably would have put aside, to buy little gifts or so on. We're spending on repairing roofs, doors, gates, a lot of things that are now necessities and not luxuries, right? Because best believe it, when we buy these additional gifts and so on, but it is a luxury, it's not a need. And that's one of the things that comes with the festivities, the festive season. So it's not the BOJ mopping up liquidity that causes this. And that is why I said he's being disingenuous, right? He has to come forth and state to the people that that is not true, and not paint that narrative so the average man who don't understand the technicalities of it will run with that and say, well, I got start feel pinched because, money not there again and BOJ. No. We're in a recovery mode. We just lose 41% of our GDP. Obviously, that is the issue, and not what BOJ is doing. It's not the first BOJ mopping up liquidity in our history. It's something that happens on a normal basis. Yeah.
No. Can an argument not be made, Harry, that the BOJ's action is a sign of a relatively healthy economy, where the central bank is taking steps to manage growth and prevent the economy from overheating, which could
of course, right? It is their responsibility to ensure that neighbor, they are gatekeepers and watchers of ensuring we have a healthy economy, especially in a time like this, right? Because we do understand, and I can go back to what we spoke to a few weeks ago, right? In terms of where the BOJ stated that the financial sector can match the demand and liquidity that is needed for the economy going forward at least for the next quarter, right? Because of how strong they are, how well prepared they were, the work that has been done over several years, right? So them doing this now is them also being fiscally responsible, neighbor, right? Because if they don't do and be proactive in this case, because it's not something that will just benefit us for the Christmas, it is for the next 2 financial quarters, right? It is to slow down the possibility of an inflation rate going out, skyrocketing. And they've also stated it, right, that they're looking to contain it between the 8 to 9%. They don't want it to go over that. And it is the BOJ's responsibility to do what they see fit and responsibly enough to ensure our economy is protected. So Mr. Hyman is being disingenuous with that, neighbor, and I can call him out on it because I'm not afraid of that. It is a fact. And unless you have a narrative or you want to paint a doom and gloom, right, because of what's happening, then come with the facts and be straight with the people. You know better.
So it's a fallacious argument, Harry, that as complex as the economic discussions are, you would suggest that this is a fallacious argument, that mopping up liquidity at this time by the Bank of Jamaica does nothing to hurt the poor during this Christmas.
No, neighbor, right? In fact, it helped them, right? It helps them more than anybody else. Because what happens is that the poorer persons on the spectrum are consumers. And when you are a consumer, you're the one who bears the highest level of taxes and any increase in any economy. It's not unique to Jamaica or the Caribbean. It is life. It is how the system is set up and how it is built, because they don't have the ability to take advantage of other factors and other systematic, I'll say, loopholes and so on. So once you are a consumer, it means that's what you do. You're the one who uses the goods and buys the services and so on, right? So unless you now start to produce, which means you're now getting in, you're taking in money, you're making money, so you can pass on any additional cost, then you'll always be a consumer. Those are the producers, and those persons are the ones who are able to be, I'd say, a little bit more financially stable and better off in a time like an economy like this. Because imagine Mas Joga want piece of yam. Him go to the market, and because you and I can buy yam at $100 a pound, so we demand it. So you come and the market realize, oh, but we can pay $100 fee. Mas Joe and Mas John probably could have only pay $160. So he will not have to forego that and start to focus on what is a necessity to him. So even if him did used to get one little ham, 1 4 pound, 5 pound ham in a Christmas and sweet up Miss Name out, he'll have to forego that because now he can't afford it. Because we have demanded the same goods, but we can pay more for it, and he can't. And Mr. Hyman knows better, neighbor.
Yeah, no, the Mr. Hyman seems to be conflating two separate issues here, though, Harry. The availability of money and the distribution of wealth. So just because the BOJ is mopping up liquidity doesn't mean that the poor or anyone else has a certain amount of money available for Christmas spending. That don't affect your ability to spend for Christmas or mine, Harry. As a matter of fact, the poor may feel nothing. They may not even know that the BOJ is doing this.
Exactly, neighbor. Because they a lot of these things that are done, it would be seen as higher level actions or activities being done to protect the economy on a whole. And when you protect the economy on a whole, you're not protecting some. You're literally protecting all, because we all function together, right? If the consumers don't demand a good, then the producer will have those goods staying, especially if they have a lifespan, right? So all of it is interconnected. And neighbor, as I said, he wants to paint a doom and gloom and a segregation kind of thing, almost as if the administration is only catering for a few people, a subset, a section, right, or a specific class, and that is not the case. Because in fact, the lower class, as we want to put them, are persons who earn less, right, are being protected at a high level, because there are things they will need, neighbor, and for a longer time. Because when you do this and control the inflation, it not only slows it down, but it means you keep it down for a longer period until we have reached a higher level of recovery. And that is something Mr. Hyman has not broken down to the people.
Yeah. No, in reality though, Harry, the vulnerable population, they are the ones most affected by inflation. Am I not correct?
That is correct, neighbor.
And therefore, if the BOJ can tame inflation, then I think the poor will have a better Christmas.
Of course, neighbor. Right?
Yes.
Because it's one in which the lower persons would be able to enjoy still some level of normality in terms of the goods and services that they normally get, neighbor, under normal circumstances, right? And when I'm saying normal circumstances, pre-Melissa, right? Before Melissa. So that is one of the activities the BOJ has taken, and he knows that these are things being done. He's no fool to it, neighbor. He's a highly intellectual man.
Well, I don't even know if he is based on this argument. I think it is quite weak. No, seriously. Yeah. No. All right. So let's go to Dr. Dawes, Harry. Let's see if we can get what Minister Vaz put out today. Listen to Dr. Dawes.
The restoration would be done by the end of February, January, as opposed to April, May, June. Now, what is the opportunity cost?
Now, first of all, Harry, explain to the listeners what is opportunity cost.
Hold on, you hear me, neighbor?
I am hearing you.
Okay. So, in a sense, the opportunity cost is really what is the next best alternative when it comes on to value when making a choice. That is as simple as it gets.
Okay.
All right. So,
no. Go ahead.
So, in essence, it is whatever decision you're making, right? It is a trade-off between I would want to say what we call limited resources, right? Or competing options. So if you're not doing one thing, what is the value of doing the alternative thing? Is it better or is it worse?
Great. Now, why do you think that the opposition would consider opportunity cost against the needs of the people? In this case, giving them back electricity.
Well, what they do is try to do a little juxtaposition, neighbor, and let me add a little context to it as well, because Mr. Dayton Campbell was also focusing on the housing solutions, and Dr. Dawes doubled down as a strategy in this case. So what they're saying, the opportunity cost is let's forego JPS, that 150 million or roughly 24 billion Jamaican dollars, and give the people them house, because that's what they're focusing on. That's what the people need according to them. But with doing so, they're trying to paint a position again as if the government doesn't care. So they're trying to say, okay, the government giving JPS 150 million means the government don't care about it, because look at that. The government could have built more houses and go to more housing facilities with the 150 million. Highlighting that to seem as if the government is favoring JPS, yes, when that is not the case. The government is investing in the people through JPS, through two medium. And I would have gone to great extent and explained the whole JPS thing. But for persons who wouldn't know, now with this 150 million, right, at the 5.5% over 5 years, again, it can also be paid in 2 years. We're looking at roughly, neighbor, based on the calculation, if I remember correctly, is 8.25 million US dollars. That's the interest we'll earn in terms of dollars. That is roughly
over 8 million US.
US, right, which would equate to roughly about 1.35 billion Jamaican, right? Risk-free. So you're getting that, which means you also now have money can spend on budget. You have money can provide more resources.
That's over which period of time? How long?
Over the 5 years.
5 years.
Right. So you can do so much more with that money. You can add it to the budget to help with anything. You can pay down debt if you want to. You can help with infrastructure. Because we've seen what $1 billion can do. Darrell Vaz showed us that, neighbor, with the school bus system. It was making JUTC efficient.
Yes.
And they saved that $1 billion, and he invested that $1 billion in the rural bus system. So imagine what programs that 1.3 billion could do over the next few years.
Yes.
Now, not just, and that is from the investment standpoint. Now, the other point is when JPS gets this money, they get the ball rolling. They bring in the additional 300 workers and equipment that we don't have. Right? Now, when we get back light, because remember, I know they want light to be ubiquitous. It should be everywhere. Everybody deserves it. It is a necessity in the running of a functional country. Now, when JPS is able to continue their work and cut it by 3 to 4 months, remember, I know, neighbor, and I'll put it in context to everybody, that 3 to 4 months being cut off is being a little bit more prepared for the next hurricane period that's coming, ending of starting of June. So when Mr. Dawes is talking about what is the opportunity cost, the opportunity cost is being ready for the next hurricane, the next disaster. That's for one. Right? Getting your people back to where they are.
We could very well be facing another hurricane and we still not get back light from the last one.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then suffer further damages, right? No, even that, tight in. This money is also giving the JPS the capability and a well-needed thing, not just for them, but for the country, of improved utility infrastructure. Because what they have failed to say is that JPS infrastructure currently can only manage a category 3. And they've stated it. Now, with some of the infrastructure being able to go underground and so on, for small areas, it won't be for everywhere because it is highly expensive, right?
Yes.
But it means in areas that needs it and can afford to put it in, that will be done. So it cuts the time, it gets the people backlight, and it stimulates economic growth. Because let's not fool ourselves. We're in the peak period of one of our biggest contributors to our foreign exchange, and that's tourism, right? We're what? Today is the 10th. We're in it. It normally starts at the 15th of December, right? Now we have to still, for the areas that are up and running and fully functional, we have to still ensure that those areas are able to take advantage of this peak period.
Yes.
We don't want this sector to sit down and die and just dragging behind. No, it's not us relying totally on tourism, but it is us showing the interdependent nature of it. Because this also ensure our people can get back work. Because I don't think they understand the number of people who have been, whether let go or currently don't have a work because of businesses are unable to operate. And we all know they don't have any light. In fact, drawing into her Mr. Dawes' colleague, Miss Burchell, who was what, about 3 weeks ago, crying out for utilities, right? To get the running water, to get the pumps back up and running and all of that. They need electricity. That is how you invest back in the people. You're stimulating economic growth. You're putting back some level of normalcy to the lives of people. And I haven't even touched the psychological aspect of it. But this is just something that is needed. Schools need to operate, neighbor. And schools have canteens. You want a little cool drink, anything, you need to cook. And not just gas alone, you need light to be operational. You have hospitals, clinics. You're stimulating that level of normalcy for the people. Let them see something that they could have worked with again, something that looks similar, something that they know, some level of functionality again. And if that's not more than enough, then I don't think he understands the value of that 150 million. And I've always said it is not the money that is the thing for people who think about it. It is the value that it represents. And that value comes through bringing back the people to normalcy. And I think this is where I would say, Mr. Dawes, stick to medicine.
Yes. But I'm wondering if this is Mr. Dawes' position, or does it reflect the position of the People's National Party? Is it that the PNP is saying we would not have done this? We would have let the people wait? Is that what is to be interpreted here?
More than interpreted here, neighbor. It's not even alluding to it. I think it's becoming even more blatant the more of more representatives from the opposition speak, right? Because when it's not about the money, it is now the opportunity cost and not understanding what is the value of it. Now, when we look at it as well, neighbor, they have failed to even give an alternate solution to this issue. And I don't want people forget that. I don't want people focus on the facts that they're fighting the government and saying, oh, this money and whatever. No, they have also failed again to come with any alternative solution. But the funny thing about it is that I know what the alternative solution is, and it is not an alternative. Because we cannot let JPS run with the same contract and agreements. And it is not to say JPS will not be operational again. They will get a contract, but it's going to be a new and improved contractual agreement that benefits the people going forward. And we would not be able to negotiate with JPS if we didn't take this stance as well. So this also strengthens the government grip against the abuse we've suffered for years under JPS. Isn't that adding value? Isn't that better than whatever opportunity cost Mr. Dawes wants to think of?
Yeah, there is a view, Harry, I don't know how true this is, that the opposition is coming across as batting for the JPS. Do you get the sense that the interest of the JPS is being represented in Parliament and not the people?
It well could, neighbor. It very well could. Because when we look at how the opposition have, and this is even before Melissa, how they have gone up against the negotiation and decision by Mr. Vaz, Daryl Vaz, that is, because we know we have more than one Vaz there. They seem to come off combative when they said Mr. Vaz stated he's not renewing the contract with the same terms. And from that, coming over into Melissa, they've doubled down on the same stance. In fact, they've gone even further to now question every single decision regarding JPS. Now, if you are questioning every decision that the people could benefit from, then you are now going up against the people, which means you're batting for the same institution that was sold under their administration.
So the PNP does not seem to, or do not seem to support the not renewal of the JPS license. I think Mr. Paul has put out a statement. I think the PNP is in favor of extending the license, correct?
Extending, correct.
Right. Okay. Now, do you find it curious, Harry, that the people of Westmoreland are set to benefit tremendously from this? And these are strong PNP areas, and the PNP seem to want to hold up that. I don't understand at all.
Well, neighbor, we've touched on it as well, and if memory serves me right, based on the JPS and note, but I think Westmoreland is the only parish that has about 20% light. That is roughly 80% of people without any form of normality.
The entire parish.
It's basically the entire parish, neighbor. And for you to be batting against this, which is technically batting against your own people, then it says a lot about them, their integrity, and how they view these people. Now, with the whole aspect of the fact that that section of the island actually represents the least profitability for JPS, and I think people can see where I'm going with this. It simply means they also stand to benefit. Now, how do they benefit? With Westmoreland and the West, I don't want to just leave Westmoreland as the only one, because it's a stretch for it. But these people have a level of irregularities in terms of how their infrastructure was, put it that way. Which means they were highly unlikely contributing much to any form of electricity. Now, the opposition benefited from that, because they could have now offered other things to these people. Doesn't have to necessarily be money, right? But with the reform or the reformation and the changes that are coming, it means these people are now going to have to be on the grid. It's going to be a full-on infrastructural change. And as such, the opposition cannot piggyback off these things. And that is one of the things they're afraid of, neighbor. They're afraid of losing the grip of especially Westmoreland, losing the grip again, as what happened in 2020. And I want to say to them to forget that, because if you want to keep Westmoreland, fight for the people. Do what is right for the people, and not what you think is right for your party, or how well you can manipulate information and manipulate the people.
Let's take a break. All right, it's 26 to 10, so 26 minutes of the program is left for the callers. Do you want to join the conversation with these arguments, or do you have something else you want to add? The lines are open. Please indicate in the chat if you want to come up. There are lots of people in the box, but I suspect a lot of you are tappers, and let's just indicate in the box that you want to be added, and we'll add you. Neil, hi. Hello. Please. Hello, Neil.
Please just take a look at your device that you're using to see if you have sent a request. And if you're willing to come up, then you indicate in the chat. If not, you can cancel or withdraw your request.
Yeah, take this person out of the box, please. All right, so the lines are open for the callers. Let's go. Yep. Kevin, good night. Good night, Kevin.
Kevin here with Lady J. Good night.
Good night. I'm wondering why I came up here. Did I send a request? My apologies. It was not my intention.
No, but it's good to have you tonight, Lady J. Night, Stephen. Stephen Brown 19.
Give me a call.
Nine, Mary Richard. Good night, Miss Mary. Doesn't seem like Miss Mary is at the phone at all. Selburn.
Yeah.
How gone, boss?
I'm in there. I'm in the know come up there.
No, man, but like how you do up, man. You can cheer your 2 cents.
I don't really have much to say though, because I listen to the program every time we can, you know, and I just realized that we were talking about the financial part with Mr. Hyman and so on. Mr. Hyman have much sense in that one. And we know that from a long time, you know, and it's very political, you know what I mean? So, you know, really expect him to really say the truth or say anything good, you know what I mean?
But don't you think, no, Selburn, that persons of that capacity have a responsibility to ensure that they put the facts and truth forward?
Truth, but what just say PNP, you know, it's like them not really, even when it's the truth in front of them, you know, them drive, you know, they never the truth guide them at all times, you know what I mean? No time at all. Them just divert, you know, to misinformation, you know what I mean? Because it's so them try to survive from misinformation, you know what I mean? You know, so
because when you're at that level and if you are looking out for your fellow countryman, shouldn't it be your patriotic duty or your seldom duty to ensure you inform the populace, regardless of what maybe your political stance might be? That doesn't the humane thing come to the forefront?
Who does this?
it should be so, you know, but we don't know, you know, it's not going to happen due to the nature of the politics on the other side, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So when you hear them on the talk, you have to just ignore them, you know what I mean?
But what about Mr. Dawes? You know, speaking in terms of opportunity cost and not necessarily giving an alternative to anything, just critiquing with no additional substance.
Them never really give any alternative, you know, to nothing at all. But with Mr. Dawes now, I mean, even before the election, I realized that Mr. Dawes was about 2 screws. You know what I mean? Because the behavior tell it all. And when them come out, them don't think, them just talk, you know?
But Mr. Dawes have the purse when it comes on to medicine, Mr. Selburn. You mean him lose a few screws?
The man are right upstairs. You can be a good doctor, you know. All right. I always text on Neighbour's program, right? That the PNP in general, all of them, they reach a limit of incompetence. It's as simple as that. And even since then,
but a man of that caliber, Mr. Selburn, right? Who studies some medicine, which means he should have that level of empathy and care for the human welfare. You
all
think
right.
it's responsible of him to be coming out and taking up a duty like that?
Yes, you know what I mean? I don't think that, let me tell you something. A lot of us walk on the street day by day, and yet we're mad. We're clean, look good, have good conversation at some point and think, but we're gone.
So is a sense of mad people in clean clothes? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Selburn?
Yes, man. If you notice Dr. Dawes' behavior before the election or leading up to the election, he's a madman.
So in a sense he's good at what he does, which is his medical practitioner, right?
He may be a good doctor, but he's no good at anything else. You understand what I say? He was trained to be a doctor. But that's as far as it goes. So out of that area, him gone.
But you raise an interesting point saying he was trained to be a doctor, right?
Yes.
This is his first rodeo when it comes on to politics. Couldn't we say also this may be his first year, like he was a med student? Couldn't it be his induction to politics and especially the ideology of the party he represents?
All right. For example, you have a good mechanic, okay? But you promote that mechanic to a supervisor. That man, from him leave the mechanic stage to a supervisor, he can't go no further. That's why I said they reach a limit of incompetence. Because when they got into politics now, right? And when they reach into politics, you have more concern about the people, you know what I mean? You have to carry some love for the people, you have to really talk for the people. Obviously, the statement that man made wasn't anything of any help to the people.
But the statement,
politics is out of him area completely.
so in essence, you're saying Mr. Dawes should stay in him lane.
Yes, man. Stay in the medicine.
But he could have a outside of that, because, for example, I'm not somebody who is versed or have trained for several fields, but I do have perspectives on them. Couldn't that be the same?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Harry. Most of us reach our level of incompetence at some point. You ever hear about Peter Principle? Peter Principle is when you're bungled in whatever here you reach. So it's like it's like you never expect to reach certain place. I remember Dr. Dawes never expect to win. But now that he won, it's like him just say, boy, Miss Birchall, most of them, the new MPs them. Even Mark Golden never really expect to reach leader of opposition. He never have that intention at no point in time. But it just happened that it does. Because Peter Bunting lost his seat at the time in central Manchester. There was no other choice but him. You understand? But if you notice their behavior in Parliament and outside of Parliament, they never really expect to reach certain places. So therefore, them just say, why, you know, let me just take the bull by the horn, whether it's good or bad. So we the people now have to really think. And so, no, man, the people are not ready. You know what I mean? But they're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready, Harry. They're not ready. Trust me. If you notice, you know, if you do not agree with these people, you know, they're here for life, you know. Because I happen to have friends who in that party, you know, are on that side. I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I'm saying to them, say, you know what? Me and you now discuss not about this again. Because once you do not agree with them, you're the enemy. Because they don't think on that box and say, boy, you know, so what so-and-so is saying is true. Because once they think something, that is fact for them.
So they're trained to think along a certain line. Is that what you're saying?
It's a PNP thing, man. It's a PNP thing. No doubt about it. And you should know that, too, Harry.
Well, it's a celebrate, you know, for somebody where never wants them much tonight, you say a lot, you know.
Neighbour invite me all the time on the program, man, but we never we never come on, you know.
But
First time.
well, hold that there, Mr. Selburn. Choose Jamaica. I said choose Jamaica muted. Unmute your mic, man. Alright, we're not seeing, not hearing from Choose Jamaica. Smithy? Good night, Smithy. Alright, we don't have Smithy either. Again, listeners, if you're coming up in the box, please indicate in the chat. Because we know some person may make a mistake just by tapping. All right, we have.
Let's rock a little.
Yeah.
We'll close at 10.
Waiting for the good Lord to pass away. Oh, yeah.
Well, all right, I'm going to somebody's a chance, so I'm going to disappear. All right?
All right, Selburn. Take care.
Just take me down, all right? That's my favorite scratchy come, so I'm just give him a chance. Come on, cool.
Yes, I'm Selburn.
We'll come with the resident Crafty and Scratty. Where you from? Is it Angel Joe? Good night, Angel Joe. Seems like Angel Joe is a topper as well, you know. Good night, Angel.
Hello.
Good night, good night. So how are you doing tonight? And she gone. Alright, so all go on, Scratty.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Night, Neighbour, night, Harry, Caroline, and the viewers and subscribers. Everyone just big up, you know. What's popping tonight? You know, I was busy with some homework with the kids, you know.
Well, we still have the Dawes case. As in court, we say we're trying him, you know, with the whole opportunity cost statement, right? Well, what's your view on it? Do you think he's being irresponsible, or is he out of his depth based on his statement?
It's a politician, Harry. And there's a lot of persons, Harry, who have certain titles behind them name: lawyers, doctors, principals, pastors. A lot of titles these persons have there before the name Harry. And you find so with these titles, Harry, yes, these persons portray a type of persona to us, but you see, when they want to be a politician, Harry, no one bring a resume, you know, when they apply for a politician job, you know. That's why your persons can say you're a politician who have one subject and politician who have no subject, because a resume is not needed in terms of your academic background for you to become a politician. It is needed. You're trained to be a doctor, you are trained to be a pastor, you are trained to be a teacher, you are trained to be a lawyer. So you find saying all of these things already. There's no school in Jamaica that can train you to be a politician, you know. Politician is character name, Harry. So a lot of these persons who they might be, you might know them that the doctor field as a well-known or a well-respected doctor. But politician, Harry, and politics is something that bring out people true character who they really are. So, despite you might know Dr. Dawes, you know him as someone from the doctor field who talk a certain way and carry himself a certain way, that was what him is. That is not the real Dr. Dawes. That is Dr. Dawes from him medical training when him get make him talk certain way, medical training when him get make him act certain way, kind of want to lose him license. Now as a politician now we see the real Dr. Dawes. And it's not only with Dr. Dawes neither, you know. It's not only with Dr. Dawes neither. When you look at someone like him now, Mark Golding, who lead the People's National Party. Outside of politics, yeah, we talk about Mark Golding, how good this man is and how nice this man is. Politics shape character. Politics you come and you shape who you really is, because you say, Harry, it's people life you try to change now, you know. And you see any ability to change life or in your movement to change people's life, a character you take to change people's life, and your true character will show. So I think right now, Harry, we are seeing a lot of these guys who hide behind these titles, doctor, pastor, whatever they want to be. These guys have no character. And being a politician, we are seeing who these guys truly are. They hide behind whatever training them get. And when they become a politician, they have to be themselves. And we are seeing who Dr. Dawes really is. And today, Dr. Dawes showed us that, even though yesterday he showed us that in speech, he showed us that, you know, this guy don't really care about about the lesser fortunate of the society. This guy don't care about people and how important getting back electricity and getting back people life and track is. This guy is basically telling us that the population of Jamaica, the 18% of Jamaicans who is still without light, is the population that is not worthy based on the 25 billion or the 150 million US dollar to give these light. That is what Dr. Dawes is basically telling us, that the 150 million US dollar is not worth it to give this 18% of people who need light back light. He's basically telling us that this 18% is a non-progressive, the non-forward, the non-enhancement part of the country. And if I should go by Dr. Dawes' statement, 2 of these parishes voted directly and strongly for the People's National Party. So I don't know what Dr. Dawes said. Dr. Dawes need to wheel and come again and get him facts straight. But I definitely think that Dr. Dawes showed us who it truly is, and Jamaicans will definitely use this against Dr. Dawes going forward.
But in terms of being that Dr. Dawes Scratchy is somebody who is learning from his leader, who's a shrewd businessman, so he would understand the intricacies, the very least, when it comes on to, you know, what that 150 million would mean for people. Couldn't it be that Dr. Dawes is representing in terms of the same sentiments as his leader, you know, the portion of people that he represents?
Dr. Dawes is speaking, we're speaking here because Dr. Dawes' constituency has light. Dr. Dawes' constituency, Dr. Dawes don't have nobody in them constituency I call him and say that they don't have no light and they need light and stuff like that. That's why Dr. Dawes as a member of parliament can come out and say something like that. But he come out and do that, not realizing that the 2 main parishes, Westmoreland, you have 3 persons from your side there, 2 from Hanover. So you have 5 persons who you are basically telling them, you're spitting in them face right beside them, telling them that I don't business about the light when they need. For the people them don't deserve no light. For the people them don't value this 150 million. And Harry, we just need to understand that the People's National Party, these are the guys who gave the JPS this contract that is binding us and holding us at a chokehold position right now. We have 2 years leave on this contract. This government here seriously don't want to renew. We don't have a problem working, but the people need to make it clear that, Harry, the government don't have a problem working with the current owners of JPS. What the government have a problem with is the license that these owners currently operating under. So it's not like so we don't like the owners or we don't want to get rid of the investors. No, it is the license that governs JPS as to how they govern and how they work. That is where the problem is, and that is what the government need to change. And we are saying that we're not going to give JPS another 15 years that the opposition is calling for. 15 years, Harry, is total madness. We need to get a lot of things going forward from 2026 going forward, 2027 lights up going forward. We cannot give them 15 more years. So if giving JPS $150 million, Harry, to make sure that restoration can come by January month, that's a wonderful feat. I don't have a problem with that. I cannot bawl or complain about that, even if I already have light. I believe that everyone should get light. Harry, light is a survival mode. Persons who don't have light, they feel better. With light, you have longer term to can earn money because your day might be longer. Right now, persons don't need these areas, Harry, by 5 o'clock night to come. No light. So these persons have to close the bar, have to close their shop. Persons can't work later than get additional hours. So the whole heap of thing. Dr. Dawes blunder big time, Harry. But as I say, these guys are showing who they truly are showing who they really care about people. When they in them train field, they act different, but being a politician, you have to be yourself, and this is what we are seeing from these guys. And that's why we're seeing such a poor opposition, because I don't even know if these guys even know them each other in a hurry. When I see the one with no Lisa and a seat, Senator talk, I wonder who is this guy. I didn't even know some of them. I wonder who is this guy. When this guy reached the parliament, he look like all him and there's a PNP, the man that he was friend. They look confused, Harry. They look confused, trust me.
But you mentioned in terms of caring as well, Scratchy, right? Because that is what is being highlighted or want to be seen from the discussion and the actions of the opposition towards the current administration. Technically saying they don't care. But looking at the new activity and action that BOJ will be taking, you know, mopping up liquidity out of the current. Is that a move that show that BOJ?
Yeah, you're going out, Harry. You're going low.
Hold on, you hear me?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, so I'm saying with BOJ looking to mop up liquidity in the coming days in the market. Is that a move to show that the BOJ is working with the current administration to ensure that the people benefit? Or
I mean,
is
I
it
mean,
one that
definitely.
they will cause segregation between classes?
No, definitely. It's a definitely. This will also come back down to the benefit of the people, Harry, because when you look at what is going on with the BOJ mopping up $50 billion out of the economy, Harry, this is as a result, Harry, of too many cash being flown around in the economy. When you look at the amount of money that the government has at its disposal to spend going forward, Harry, it is high possibility, neighbor, that Harry, that this can cause inflation. Now, when you look at inflation, you say, what is inflation? Guys, inflation, guys, is when you have too much money chasing too few of our goods. So, for example, guys, say we have too much money in the economy and we are chasing few goods. So, when you rush to the stores and buy those goods fast, based on the demand and the high amount of money in the economy, persons are now going to raise those goods, Harry. We're going to see increase in those prices. Now, with Ralston Hyman and what Ralston Hyman said earlier about taking $50 billion and it's going to be mash up per person's Christmas, this is not going to mash up anyone Christmas, Harry. This is not just for December alone. What the government is doing, Harry, we're in the final quarter of our financial year. Our financial year ends March 31st. We're in the final quarter of that. Now, Harry, it is common sense and it is commonly known in Jamaica that January, February, March is tambourine season. That is the time, Harry, where after the festive season, when everybody done do this impulse spending and waste up all of these money, this is the time when the reality check normally click in and persons start get back them senses. Persons start to get tighter on their money. Persons start to become more responsibility after doing that big spending in December. Now, with persons have a hold back now in December, the government have to make sure that they're at a level, Harry, where the increase in inflation, neighbor, Harry, matches whatever projection is the 4% or the 6% that the Bank of Jamaica said that inflation should be at. Harry, this is a wonderful thing. This is a preemptive step. This is not just for December, but it's also for going forward, Harry, to maintain prices. January is a tough time. January is when we normally see increase in prices and stuff. So we have to make sure that for the January season, Harry, based on the amount of cash that is in the economy, we don't have a case where we have too many cash chasing too few of our goods. And that is the reason why. And Harry, this is not nothing to be surprised about. It's not the first. I'm going to tell you something to on the contrary to Harry. In 2020, 21, 22, after COVID, the Bank of Jamaica had to put money in the economy, the opposite of what they are doing now. Right now, they are taking out. Now, Harry, why did they have to put money in the economy 2020 after COVID? Because businesses were closed down. There wasn't any money in the economy at that time. There wasn't enough money out there in the economy circulating. So the Bank of Jamaica had to pump money out there. Now, we are seeing where the government is going to be spending a whole lot of money. We see remittance raise the persons getting a whole lot of money to Western Union and all of these different agencies the other way. So there's extra money floating around in the economy that wasn't budgeted in our economy initially. So this is going to cause too much money. So the government create a program where they're going to take 50 billion out of the economy, keep this money in a special account in BOJ. This money won't be circulated in the economy for a certain period of time. The persons who buy up these certificates from the government, these persons will get back high interest rate at this. So it's not just for December, it's for January, February, March, April, May, going forward into the new year. As I said, Harry, we're in the final phase, the final quarter for our financial year, and we must close this quarter upon a level, Harry. We are projected to lose 13% of our GDP. That's about 2.8 billion US dollar. We must be put in a position, Harry, where despite us losing that 13%, we cannot let food prices get out of hand. We cannot let transportation price get out of hand. We cannot let building material get out of hand, because these are the goods that are being chased most right now. So the government have to take out that 50 billion out of the economy to make sure that the level of money that is circulating right now matches the supply and demand. Simple as that.
At 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, here is the Zelle account. We're asking for persons to jump on now and make a contribution towards production costs for tonight's program. Come on. Politics Plus listeners, please 954-635-8732. In the United States, that's where you are? Well, great.
Every minute, every day. Girl, I'm so down when you love not around.
So Scratchy. The day was long today. It was a long day, Scratchy. And
very long day.
And quite frankly, I left the program today and had to go and do another stint of, activities. And I have to be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. My taxi driver has been complaining that he has to be doing a lot of overtime. So I'm going to have to run tonight.
Most blessed day, but sometimes we have to go in early,
Yeah. So all things being well, Scratch, we will catch up with the listeners tomorrow morning at 9.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely.
Yes. And then I have to get up from listeners. I have to get up from 5 o'clock to make sure that I'm ready for 9 o'clock. You know the amount of work that goes into all of this. I don't know where Caroline is tonight. She must be sleeping, eh? You miss her? You miss her, Scratchy?
I mean, definitely, neighbor. Of course, I miss Caroline. Caroline bring that extra spice and everything. I miss Caroline, neighbor. I definitely have to miss Caroline. I hope she's enjoying herself.
You have to do 1 month without her.
I mean, yes, 1 month without her. I mean, we have good replacement. We have Kerry, we have Kerry can look at.
No boy, I tell you. My goodness, wow. Listeners, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support.